say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? Thank you. Allow us to begin, first of all, by thanking each and every one of you for co-creating this interaction with our civilization in this way, this day of your time. Each and every time any one of you helps to create this kind of interaction, it forms a bridge, it forms a link between our respective civilizations. And we always enjoy the interactions because by being allowed to interact with each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively, we are afforded an opportunity to experience through you different points of view that exist within creation. And this expands our understanding of all the different ways that creation can express itself. So we thank you for the gift that you are giving to us in forming this interaction. Now, we would like to begin this interaction by stating that a very specific kind of energy shift is coming in your upcoming year that you call in your counting 2007. And we would like to explain in a little bit more detail what we perceive from our perspective to be some of the patterns that will flow from the changes taking place in your years to come. Now, let me remind you that there is no such thing as a prediction of the future. There is, however, a sensing of the energy that exists at the time the prediction is made, a sensing of the present. And if that energy does not change, then what is sensed can come to pass. But when someone senses that energy, they are not sensing the future. There is no set future. There are infinite probabilities of many different things, many different paths that can open up. And depending upon where you choose to focus your individual and collective energy, that determines the path you shall experience. But as we read the energy that exists now, at the present time, what we are about to say is what seems likely to unfold based on the strongest energy patterns that we perceive. Now, we would like a volunteer to write something down. Anyone? Yep. All right, you. Do you have what you call your paper and your pen? All right. Any one of you may write this down as well if you wish for yourselves. But first, write down these numbers. Are you ready? Are you sure? All right, just checking. 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Have you got that? All right. Oh, take your time. Now, also write down, in another column if you wish, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Have you got that? All of you? All right. Now, 2007 begins a new cycle of energy, a new collective momentum, a new collective inertia in the general consciousness of your planet. And that, in the beginning of this cycle, will be a starting point for a number of things that are to unfold as we perceive the energy at present. The first number, 3, added to that will take you to the year 2010. That will be the next marker or milestone, if you wish, in this general pattern we are outlining here now. Then, from there, you may add the 5 and bring yourselves to 2015. Then, from there, you may add the 7. Then, from there, you may add the 9. And then, from there, you may add the 11, bringing yourself ultimately to your year of 2042. You follow along? I'll wait. Now, in each of these blocks of time, of 3 years, and 5 years, and 7 years, and 9 years, and 11 years, across this 35-year span Now, in the first block of 3 years, also count 1 year from that beginning. So when you say 2007, the first span of 3 years to 2010, but also make a demarcation 1 year into that, bringing you to 2008. That's another demarcation point. Then in the idea of 2010 to 2015, bring yourself 2 years in, from 2015 to 2017. That's another demarcation point. And then add in each successive block, again, the idea of 3 years in, 4 years in, 5 years in each of those blocks from the starting point of the beginning of each block. You follow me? So you have, as I said, your 2007 to 2010, that starts the 3-year block, but go 1 year into that also, 2008. Then you have your 2010 to 2015, go 2 years into that, so that you get your 2017. And apply 3 years to the next block, 4 years to the next block, and 5 years to the block after that. Those will give you all of the main demarcation times that we have talked about for certain events to occur, and also that many of you have been aware of for a while about different beings, different societies, different ideas in your culture of different demarcations for things to happen. For example, as you have in the second block, your 2010 to 2015, going in 2 years brings you to 2012, which many of you have for a long time been discussing as a major threshold crossing point. So you will see that in this overall pattern, you will be able to mark general crossing points that will be indicative of certain societal changes, certain changes in awareness that will bring you to the next level, the next step of changes going on not only in your society, but changes toward the interaction of your society with societies from other worlds. And as we have said, when you get up the scale a little bit in this pattern, around your years of 2030 and up, you will find that there will be open contacts occurring on your planet between yourselves and members of other societies. And by the ending of this cycle in 2042, Earth itself will, in a sense, have already been enlisted within an alliance of a variety of worlds. So this 35-year span represents your inclusion from the beginning point to a point where you are full-fledged members of an alliance of a variety of civilizations. And along the way, there will be different incidents, different events, both in your society and as you observe other things going on in your universe, that will show you that you are progressing toward an expanded awareness that will bring you more and more into contact, not only with more of yourselves and give you more ability to choose what kind of world you actually prefer, but will also bring you closer into contact with beings such as ourselves, so there can eventually be face-to-face interaction. 2007 begins the acceleration of that cycle that then, in a sense, ends in 2042, but then continues on a very different level altogether. From that point forward, you will be being trained how to interact with other societies who are also evolving in ways that you have already gone through, in ways you have already experienced, so that you will be able, as a society, to begin to help them learn to evolve their societies in ways that you have learned to evolve. But that will take place, as we said, after your 2040s. But in the meantime, many exciting things will happen as we read the energy now. Now, so keep that in mind. Use it as a template. See what happens around those years and begin to understand the pattern of energy, both within yourself as an individual personality and in the collective society. You will see many different things that will start to happen in and around these times, give or take a few months here and there, one side or the other. But we are giving you a template so you can follow along now in this time your own progress of acceleration and evolution in the expansion of your consciousness as it relates to discovering more of yourself and as it relates to discovering others that are aware of you and have been aware of you for thousands of your years. And as you come into more contact with us and others, it will also accelerate and increase your understanding of who you are as individual people and as a civilization. And it will start to illuminate the choices you have made in creating your society, so that in looking at those choices, you can decide more clearly what choices you would like to make from that point forward to create the society you all say you would prefer to have on your planet. So use this template and see what insights can be gleaned from it as you compare the events in your society to the years that are marked on this particular template. You will learn a lot about patterns of consciousness that occur within your collective self and your individual self. It's a tool we give you to have some fun with. Now, we would also like to say this. We have now been communicating with your society in this way, as has been pointed out, for 23 of your years. Part of the change coming up is that the way we are doing this will now change also. Tomorrow of your time, it has been discussed that we shall conduct what you in your language call a workshop. We will conduct this workshop on what you call your west coast of your country tomorrow of your time, and in 1 month thereafter, we will conduct a workshop on the east coast of your country. That workshop on the east coast of your country will be the last workshop of its kind. From that point forward, there will be something different. We will, as far as the idea of workshops goes, in time, help create what might be more readily called a curriculum that will actually be offered through what will come to be understood as an Institute of Applied Metaphysics. That curriculum, in a sense, will be something you can begin to study at your own pace and apply the tools we have discussed with you for 23 of your years in such a way that you can really strongly begin to apply all these things in your own way, at your own pace, to your own life, and get very specific changes by training yourself how to do what we have come to learn to do naturally with every breath. Thus, you will be immersed in an atmosphere and an environment of learning these ideas, these tools that we share with you in such a manner akin to what you may call your schools, so that it will truly be steeped into you in such a manner that it will become second nature to you, rather than just hearing the information now and then. It will provide a true training over a long period of time to allow these to become ingrained behaviors, so that you will have profound effects on your life, rather than just intermittent ones. This curriculum and the Institute of Applied Metaphysics will occur in time. Perhaps, again, over the course of what you may call the 3 years in the first block, from 2007 to 2010. Most likely will this curriculum appear, and the institute that will allow you to apply it. But there will not be workshops of tomorrow's nature again. You are ready for something different. You are ready for a different level. Now, there will continue from time to time be the availability of having what you are experiencing this day of your time to be questions and answers, interactions of a type. But what will eventually also replace the timing of these Q&As or incorporate the Q&A will be something that we will begin to deliver on our schedule, on our time, that you might call State of the Union addresses. Because now that you are going into the cycle of the pattern, of the template, of truly moving toward becoming a member of an interstellar alliance, we will include you in a variety of State of the Union addresses to update you on your progress and assist you in learning how to become more interactive within that alliance. Be a true, full-fledged member of that alliance. So, instead of the idea, thus then, of just Q&As, although these will include the ability of dialogue back and forth, they will be more like reports, States of the Union, States of the Interstellar Union, if you wish. It is time that these formats change, and at this time, we will be the ones to determine at this point exactly when and where they will occur. So, simply be open, and synchronicity will bring you the information, and you will be where you need to be, when you need to be there. Information will be provided through usual channels, no pun intended, and you will find out the information that you need involving the changes I am now speaking of. And this brings us to the third item we would like to address this day of your time, and that is with regard to the energy vibrational changes taking place within each and every one of you individually. Many of you understand that your vibrations are raising, your vibrations are increasing, taking you to a higher level. Now, some of you don't necessarily always know this or are aware of this, but over time, you have increased your frequency, you have raised your vibratory level of energy. It's just that you may be so used to it that you don't necessarily know that this has happened. The example we often give to illustrate this point is that a person who lived on your planet, say 300 of your years ago, if they were to suddenly be transported to your present time and were to look at any single one of you, they would actually see you as glowing. Your vibration is that much higher in 300 years compared to theirs 300 years ago that you would appear to be glowing to someone from 300 years ago. But to you, it's natural, so you don't notice it. It's your natural vibration now, but it has raised over time. You are higher energy level beings now, and your vibration will continue to rise. But here's how it rises. Because some of you have been experiencing the idea of what you call ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs in life. And you say, why is my vibration not always going up? Why does it sometimes go down? Here's why. Remember that some time ago we said expansion and evolution and growth is the product of inclusion, not exclusion. You are gathering all of the things from lower vibrations you need to look at to integrate them into the higher vibration. So your general cycle is rising into a high vibration that gives you the ability to dip into the lower vibration and bring up to the higher vibration issues, beliefs, definitions that you need to resolve, that you need to integrate, that you need to process. And by going on a higher vibration, it gives you the ability to do that, to dip lower, so that you're gathering all of yourself together, including all of your experience of life. And as you do that, it's not that you're going like this and traveling in a straight line. You will start doing this and start averaging a higher vibration. As you dip down, you will not dip down as far as you did before. As you rise up, you will rise higher and higher. And the average of those two, no matter how high you rise and how low you may go, the average of those two will constantly be rising. That is how you do it. So invite the idea of what seem to be the low points, because it is those low points that allow you to gather things that you don't want to leave behind, ideas that you need to examine, beliefs and definitions that you need to process in order to truly integrate yourselves as holistic beings and raise your vibration in general to be able to manifest the life you prefer more and more easily through ecstatic explosions of synchronicity. Because synchronicity is one of the first and primary side effects of beginning to live in the moment, beginning to live in the now, beginning to be your true self. Synchronicity is space-time, physical reality's way of showing you that all things exist now. But in linear space-time, the only way that you can experience that is by many different things happening coincidentally, all at once, one after another, showing you that things are linked, things are connected, that you are manifesting these things, and as you live more in the now where everything exists, then physical reality, which is a mirror, can reflect back to you through synchronicity more and more and more of all the things that exist with you right here, right now. Many people talk about the idea of creating your reality. You don't really create it. It already exists. Many people talk about the idea of attracting the reality you prefer. You don't really attract it because there is nowhere out there to attract it from. There is no outside. That's an illusion. It's not that you're creating the reality. It's not that you're attracting the reality. What you are creating is the experience in your consciousness that is most reflective of the vibration on which you exist. That's what you're creating, the experience. Reality is experience. There is no empirical reality outside of you. It's all within your consciousness. But you can create the appearance. You can create the experience of physical space-time. You can create the experience of an outside so that you can play a game of investing yourself with new knowledge about yourself by creating perspectives that otherwise could not be created without that format. But it's all taking place within your consciousness. And it's all just a matter of perspective. That's all it is. So when people talk about creating their reality, yes, in a way you are. When people talk about attracting the reality they prefer, yes, in a way you do. But it's already here, all here, right now within you. So what you're actually creating with your vibrational changes is the experience, and that's the reality. That's the reality. It's not so much what happens, it's how you respond to what happens that determines the vibratory frequency that determines your experience of reality. That's all it takes. You're already here, you're already now. There is nothing really you have to learn how to create. Nothing really you have to learn how to attract. All you need to learn is how to allow the experience to happen that is most reflective of the vibratory signature you're giving off, and then respond to it in a way that is reflective of the kind of being you prefer to be. That's all it takes to have an unlimited experience of synchronistic reality in ecstasy, excitement, joy, unconditional love. That's all it takes, is the willingness and the allowance to let it occur, to let it reflect the true you. But we understand how many of you were raised on your planet, and we understand the definitions and belief systems that you were raised to buy into, and we understand that what you go through is part and parcel of the process of getting in touch with what those beliefs and definitions are, so that in doing so, you can then decide whether those definitions work for you or not, whether those definitions are in alignment with your true self or not, whether those definitions and beliefs are what you prefer to believe or not. And in getting in touch with them that way, it is up to you, up to your free will, up to your ability to choose what definitions you believe are most true for you. And that will be the reality you will experience, because it all happens within you anyway.